Let's play our new game. It's time to play.
Yeah.
Tell me where in the world are
Charlie Rangel's critics.
Okay, I think we found one. Here's what every American needs to know on Charlie Rangel. A man who oversees the IRS and writes our nation's tax laws isn't paying some of those taxes. And that's not all. House Ways and Means Committee Chairman Rangel is under investigation. I try to say that with a straight face. By the House Ethics Committee, I try to say that one with a straight face as well, for fundraising activities and possible improper financial benefits from the leasing of several properties here in New York. The investigation is moving at a snail's pace, or is that too kindly? Next guest is taking action. Lawmakers just proposed a new bill on Capitol Hill called the Rangel Rule for American taxpayers. He says Rangel got a free pass on his tax penalties. No. Shouldn't you? Republican Texas Congressman John Carter joining me now. John, how are you, sir? Congressman.
I'm good, Glenn. How you doing?
Very good. Okay. So tell me about the Rangel Rule.
Well, the Rangel Rule is real simple. Mr. Rangel paid taxes after 10 years of not paying them, and no penalties or interest were assessed against him by the IRS. That's special treatment as far as I'm concerned. Back where we come from, people pay penalties and interest when they're behind on their taxes. And so I think every American should adopt the Rangel Rule and get a free ride on penalties and interest if they owe back taxes.
Congressman, is this a gimmick or is this real? I mean, are you just trying to get, God bless you if you're just trying to get attention for the Rangel thing because nobody's paying attention, or are you really pushing for this? Because this ain't going to happen.
I think, well, you're right. You know, I'm a Republican in a Democratic-controlled Congress. But the point is, it puts sunshine on an issue of fairness that people ought to be thinking about.
What is it?
They ought to be thinking about, should a person we send off to represent us, that we elect, have special privileges that we, as the people who select him, don't have.
Okay.
I think every voter ought to be thinking about that.
All right, here's the thing. America, I was thinking, I haven't even seen these facts yet. They've been working on them all afternoon. I said earlier today on my program, if just 1% of America says, you know what, I'm not going to pay my taxes. If the tax evasion rate is the same as 2001, unpaid taxes last year amount to $285 billion. If increased by 1%, it'd be almost $300 billion. That's just 1% of Americans going, you know what, Tom Daschle didn't do it, Geithner didn't do it, Charlie Rangel didn't do it. There's clearly 1% of America that will say, you know what, I ain't playing by the same rules because they're not playing by the same rules. Congressman, we've got to change this.
Exactly. I thought when I introduced this, it was one instant. Now it seems to be a movement. I mean, look how many people that have basically been challenged because of not paying taxes in the process of selecting people to work in the Obama administration. When we started this, we really didn't know that concept was out there. Now we seem to have an epidemic of people who haven't paid their taxes.
Oh, geez. Here's Charlie Rangel at the, look at this. I love this. There's just a Charlie Rangel at the inaugural speech, literally wrapped in the flag. I thought only conservatives did that. Do we have the audio of what Charlie Rangel said about his tax problems? Do we have that? Go ahead and roll this. Senator, listen to this. I want your comments from it.
I do not expect any special treatment because I'm a member of Congress. Whatever mistakes, if any, I have made, I am prepared to make certain that the record is set straight. As a matter of fact, I truly believe that members of Congress and those in public service really have a higher obligation than the people who vote for them to set an example. In addition, as chairman of Ways and Means Committee, I am and should be held to a higher standard.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Here's the thing.
I agree with.
But where is he? Why isn't he stepping to the plate and saying, "I want my name cleared on this. I want to explain this. I want this committee called, and I want to get this behind us because Geithner didn't pay his taxes, and he shouldn't be confirmed. He shouldn't be the guy because we all need to be held to a higher standard in Washington."
Well, I think that standard is very important, and you know, I wrote the chairman a letter before I introduced this bill, and I said, Chairman, If you just write the IRS and ask them to tell you what the penalties and interest are and pay them, then we'll know that you're being treated fair, equal with all other taxpayers.
Congressman,
I got
thanks.
no reply.
Meet the People coming up next.